Those the potatoes I'm using for the soup. I have these 2 large sweet potatoes, and I have 2, 4, 6, 7 medium-sized regular white potatoes. And I'm going to wash them thoroughly and then scrape the backs off and cut them in bite-sized pieces. So the main difficult part of making this potato soup is the preparation. Cutting the potatoes, the sweet potatoes and the white potatoes, making the broth if you do not already have broth, but I always have broth, because when I cook meat or fish, I save my broth. This is kale that we got from the farmer's market, and when we get them, we get a lot of kale, and I cook them and put them in portion sizes like this in Ziploc bags and freeze them so they last us a while. And then we have the tomatoes sliced up, the onions all sliced up, the chicken, everything is ready. This is the most difficult part of the soup, but once you have all your ingredients ready, you're good to go. Hi everyone, welcome to Little Movies Daycare Encounters YouTube channel, where we emphasize play-based learning, wellness, and research-based solutions to issues in early childhood education. If you're new here, please subscribe, like, and share, and stay tuned for more exciting videos. I'm prepping the chicken and all the other ingredients for the soup. I wanted to show you the chicken we got from BJ's. This was about $8 and about 6 pounds, I believe. But I'm just going to use half of this chicken for the potato soup. So I have the very first part of the soup process is putting some vegetable oil in a pot. You can use, sometimes I use avocado oil, sometimes I use olive oil, but this is vegetable oil. So I put about 1.5 tablespoons of oil, and I'm just gonna let this heat up. Let it heat up. I'm moving the oil around. Okay, so you see how this is kind of drying up and it's sticking to the bottom of the pot a little bit. That's exactly how we want it. So I'm going to now add the meat broth. The meat broth is already seasoned and ready. So I'm going to add it right here. So now the broth and the onion and tomato sauce is sizzling and boiling, and you know that it's time to add the sweet potatoes. Going to add the sweet potatoes right here. Sweet potatoes go in first because they take longer to cook, than the regular white potatoes. So I'm just going to turn this around, give it about 5-7 minutes to cook, and we'll be right back. So as the soup is cooking with the sweet potatoes, I'm going to add some Knorr cubes, just 2 cubes. Don't forget the sauce, the broth is already seasoned. So now we just have very light seasoning, just some sprinkles of black peppers, just some sprinkles of curry. I use curry in every soup I make. Just sprinkles of curry. I think there's a nice, delicious flavor to curry. And then my favorite friend, parsley. Sprinkles parsley, is never too much parsley. And last but not the least, some garlic powder. Just a little sprinkle. And can you hear that boil? Can you hear that boil? That's just the sound of deliciousness. So the soup fairy just told me the sweet potatoes is cooked. Just kidding. So the sweet potatoes have been cooking for about 20 minutes. I'm just gonna add the regular white potatoes, because those cook very quickly. Probably less than 5 minutes or so they'll be ready. So I'm just gonna add these regular white potatoes to the broth, sweet potato, tomato, pepper mixture, and all the good seasoning. I can see the parsley floating on that deliciousness of a soup. We'll let this cook for about 8 minutes, and we'll be back to put some more goodness to the soup. So now that the sweet potatoes cooked, the regular white potatoes cooked, I'm going to add some spinach. So we couldn't make it to the farmer's market this week, because when you want to go to the farmer's market, you have to be really early. We got this spinach from Giant, I believe. This is the spinach we got from Giant, I believe. It is Nature's Promise organic baby spinach and spring mix. They say it's perfect for salads. And then they say washed and ready to eat. I still go ahead and wash mine and soak it for a few minutes with apple cider vinegar. I don't know, I just still do it anyway. Even if it says here it is washed and ready to eat. So this is what I use, just one of these is what I'm using for the soup. So when I put the spinach, I just went ahead and turned, stirred the soup. And we don't want the spinach overcooking. So I'm going to let this cook for about 5 minutes. And while that's cooking, I'm going to add red palm oil. This is about 2 tablespoons of red palm oil. And I'm going to show you the one I got from the African store. This one is what I got from the African store. I don't know if they sell this in other stores, because when I want to buy red oil, I always go to the African store to get it. And I actually do have a video after this video. I'm going to show you the African store we go to, and how the store is on the inside. And when I'm looking for anything that I can't find in the regular market, I just go to the African store. And I'll give you an example. I was looking for couscous. Went to BJ's, went to Giants, went to Aldi's, went to different stores in the neighborhood. There was none. And lo and behold, went to the African store, and it was right there, in huge quantities. So I'm going to use this red oil. I'm going to add this red oil to the already cooking soup, and then we'll be right back. I went ahead and you can see the oil. I went ahead and added that red oil to the mixture, to the soup, because it gives it a rich red color. That's what it does. And this is the reason why I did not use a lot of vegetable oil at the beginning. I used a little bit because I don't want this soup to be so oily. So I used that little bit of vegetable oil at the beginning, and now I'm using the red palm oil. So we're going to let this cook for another 5 minutes, and we'll be back. You see how that soup is sizzling and boiling and looking delicious by itself. We're going to now add the chicken. Now, I don't add all the chicken because I did prepare half the rotisserie chicken. I'm not gonna use all of it because when I serve, I'm going to have chicken on the side. My food program lady, she for some reason, when you're in the food program and you make soup with meat, is probably not enough protein, when you serve the children the soup. So she still thinks it's advisable, to have meat on the side, even if you already have meat in the soup. So I use most of the meat that I had taken off of the rotisserie chicken, and then I leave some on the side for when I serve. So since the meat is ready and everything else is cooked, I just want to give it a little stir. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that color. Oh my yummies. You see? Can you see how that red oil gave it a very rich color? In addition to the veggies. This is so beautiful. And you know what else? It is going to be yummy. So I'm just going to let this boil and sizzle for about 8 minutes, and then we'll be right back. Okay, there's no asking or wondering. The soup is ready. It's ready. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how I will serve this to the kids. This is the whole grain bread. It says whole grain thin sliced 15 grain, Pepperidge Farm bread that we use. I'm going to take one slice of bread, and put it in the toaster. And then just one, and then I'll show you how I serve it to the kids. So this is how I will serve the potato soup to the children. I have the potato soup right here in this small beautiful bowl. There is the strawberries, there is some bell peppers on the side, there's the chicken, the rotisserie chicken, and then I have a toast here which I cut into nice sizes for the children to easily eat them.